Hi, I'm Howard Jackson from Open Door Multimedia, and this afternoon I'm recording the newsreel for August 2012. Didn't plan to do it today, but I've been working on a lighting setup that I'll be using on a project next week, and once I'd got the lighting to my liking, I thought it seemed a bit daft not to use it. So that's why I started now. And this lighting setup it's a setup that it's popular with Apple. If you look at the Apple adverts, and it usually features young, dynamic, happening people, beautiful people really, who are buying into the Apple lifestyle. But it also works pretty well with grumpy old men like me. And it's a good way of isolating a subject, and it means that you can be working in a really sort of cramped situation. You don't need to be in a studio, but you've absolutely no idea what's going on around the camera or the other side of the background. So I think it works really nicely, and it's something I'll be using in the future. I want to talk to you about some of the projects I've been working on over the last couple of months. I'll mention some of the things that are in the diary for the coming month, and I'll also mention a couple of the networking groups that I'm involved with. And if you're interested in joining or attending, I'll give you details about how you can do that. Okay, first project that I'll talk about is something I've been doing with a group of adults with learning disabilities, and they're part of the More Than Words theatre group. So I've been working with them for the last month, and we're putting together a promotional DVD, and also we'll put some films up to YouTube. In an earlier life I was a manager in social services, and the client group that I supported was adults with a learning disability. So for me it's almost like going home, and it's been brilliant to work with the group. The enthusiasm, the commitment and the skills that they've got, and delivering performances on the first take. So it's been really exciting, really interesting. I've learned an awful lot, and the end result will be great. So that's the first project. I also did some work with Mini More Than Words, which is little lads around about 5 or 6 years old. They're an absolute handful and just full of energy, and it was a little bit hairy at times, but again they went on a bear hunt, the famous book. Didn't stick strictly to the plot, but the film looked great by the end of it, and we had a real good time into the bargain. Next project was something that I did with Carlisle Angling Association. The association's very active, and it's looking to promote fishing amongst young people. Each year it holds an open day for the juniors on Rickaby Park. This year there was fly casting, there was advice and guidance on the riverside, and fly tying. So a really good project, and it was just brilliant to see children with mums and dads and members of the association working together and developing the skills. So a really nice project. Sunny day, so it looked great on film. Next project is something I'm doing with Lynn Duffy, who's the founder of the Honey Rose Foundation. Now, Honey Rose provides special days for adults with terminal illness or life-threatening conditions. So a brilliant charity, and it brings joy to people who are in really sort of dire circumstances. So again, great to work with Lynn, great to work with the volunteers. We've got more to do, but that'll look good by the time it's finished. And the idea is they'll use that to introduce the project to people via YouTube, and there'll also be another promotional DVD that'll help them in their activities. Next project was some work I did with Davies of BizWiz UK. Now Anne specialises in LinkedIn. She provides training, but she also provides one-to-one support for her customers. So anyone who's interested in developing the connection with LinkedIn and hopefully generating more work from LinkedIn, Anne's a good contact. I did the film partly to promote what Anne does, but partly to promote the networking group that Anne and myself are part of. And again, more of that later on. Next project is a family history film that I did with some friends down in Devon, and it was a 3-generation film. So there was a baby, Marcy, who was just around about a month old, mum and dad and grandma and granda and auntie. Really nice project, and it freezes in time what the family were looking like, thinking like, and Marcy did a bit of crying at the start of the filming, but she settled and went to sleep, and at least there's a record of just how good a pair of lungs Marcy had when she was a small child. But a really nice project. Next project, and it's the project that I've worked on this lighting setup for, is something I'm doing with a guy called Joyce. Now Matt is a trainer, and he specialises in safeguarding or protection of vulnerable adults training. So working with Matt on Tuesday at the Park Inn in Lee, we'll be putting together a film for his website, a film for his LinkedIn profile, and also a lengthy sort of training package that he's putting together. So that'll be a new venture for both Matt and myself, and we're both looking forward to it. We had the planning meeting yesterday and it's looking very promising, so quite excited about Tuesday. Next project I'll talk about, thinking ahead, is literally that, because I've got a commission from Think Ahead, which is a stroke rehabilitation charity based in Wigan, and I'll be doing two pieces of work. One is to edit and do some post-production on some filming they've already done, and that's just to save them time and make life easier for them. But also I'll be filming another project in the middle of September. So again, new customer, new contact, new relationships, and I'm looking forward to that. Going back to when I mentioned about the two networking projects, or the networking groups that I go to. The first meets at the Park Inn at Lee every Friday, 7 o'clock kick-off. I know it's early, but that's the deal. If you want to come, you've got to come at that time. And the second one meets at the Dam House, which is at Astley, and that's just a little bit further up the East Lancs Road towards Manchester. Both good groups, both developing, and the reputation that they've got is attracting new members. I joined the groups around about 5 months ago. I've got to say it was slow for quite a while, but things are happening now. The groups are generating good referrals for me, and some of those referrals are now turning into business. So I'd recommend both the groups. If you're interested, just give me a shout and I'll make the connections. You could either come with me or just turn up, but I'll give you the details. So both groups are recommended. Give me a shout if you're interested. So that's it for August. I'm Howard Jackson from Open Door Multimedia. Thanks for watching.